að taka svona láma 6 sekúndur.
Í hverju leik er ekki?
Já.
6 í hverju leik?
Já, það er.
Hvað er það síðan leikið? Já, ég búið 3 ár. Ok, já.
Hvað er það?
Já. Já, annars getur við fyrir.
Það er það mikið fyrir hún.
Peter to throw for the ball. 25. Vitor to throw. $25. Outside, it's Vitor, throw first. Game on.
Well, a very good evening, morning or afternoon, depending on where you are on the planet. And welcome to Live Darts Iceland. We come to you live from Keflavik, which is where the international airport is situated on the island, bringing you the best of Icelandic darts. I'm Robbie Dove, taking you through the first hour of action this evening. And at the moment, we've got Peter Rudrik Gudmundsson against Vitor, I think it's Manuel Guerrera, something like that, Charua. Vitor is the man in the moustache throwing now. Peter is the man in blue. If you haven't watched us before, a very warm welcome to you all. I'll explain who these players are and what they do and why we're playing.
29.
So we'll start with Peter Gudmundsson. He's just stepping up to the oche now. He's a left-hander, as you can see. He's been playing darts for many a year, about 15, I believe. And he's nicknamed the Father. Why is he nicknamed the Father? Because he works in a church and is training to be a priest. Vitor Charua, known as the Grenade.
$83.
Vitor Manuel Guerra Charua, there we go, his name. He's a carpenter by trade and he's been playing darts since January 2014. He wants to play in the PDC one day.
135.
He's a big fan of Gary Anderson. He supports Man United, good on him. And he is a double 12 sort of guy.
$85.
Now, last week we had a selection of players throwing arrows, best of, I think they were all best of 5 games to make the evening go down, which was good fun. I believe this week we're all playing best of 11. I'm going to find out the format. I probably should have asked before we went live, but yeah, it's like slightly slow start here. But let me explain what some of these averages mean. You see red number, and you see a number underneath it. It's black on the left side, it's white on the right
30.
side. One of these numbers is the leg average, and one is the match average. At the moment, obviously, it's all going to be exactly the same. But after the first leg, we'll get an update as to what their leg average is. There you go, confirmation. Red is the average in the total leg, in the current leg, should I say. And the one below the red is the total average, which will update leg by leg.
78.
Well, Vitor, 3 clean darts at double 16. Double 8, should I say. Needs 16.
No score.
And he's busted. I think he has hit the double 16. He's probably listening to me, which is not usually a good idea. Which means we may see bull double 16 here. Well, he hasn't hit the bull. 65 remaining. He could go 15, he could go out at bull. He's gone 15, which leaves the bull. Don't know how good the good line he's got. Soon find out. And I don't think he had a particularly good line. So Vitor coming back. Won't want to make the same mistake twice.
Score.
He doesn't make the same mistake twice, but he's made arguably an even worse mistake, because 48 very much doable, especially if your name is Peter. Well, that is in the 16 by the looks of things, just about, and there we go. That is how you check out 48, a 16 which looks like it's in a double, and then straight into the double. Fantastic. 1-0 Peter, break of throw. Well, Vitor Charua, I do believe, has only walked into the building a couple of minutes ago, so the practice darts we saw him throwing were really the first darts that we saw. Confirmation then, it is going to be back to the good old days where we were best of 11, so that's first to 6, and we had 4 games. 2 semi-finals, the 3rd place playoff, a little bit like England and Belgium. The less said about that, the better.
80.
And the final, the France and Croatia. Haven't had this format for a while, so it should be quite interesting.
26.
And I'll be here until, well, for the next 45 minutes. Then you can enjoy the darts in the peace and tranquillium that you deserve.
140.
Lovely ton 40 there for Peter. Puts him in pole position for this leg. He's averaging 107 in this leg. Vitor averaging pretty much his average.
97.
Which at least it means he's consistent. So anything, a ton's good here. 60, could do a bit more than 60, he'll think. Especially want to slide in below those ones. Well,
55.
Unfortunately, that's not the greatest of setups there, but he has got time. Vitor does need a ton 40, would leave him on 138. Needs more than 100. He's not going to get more than 100.
36.
He's going to get significantly less than 100. So 126 options. Sounds like a helicopter's going over the auditorium. Well, I assure you, he's not on 501. It was on 126. The treble 20 leaves 66. The treble 11, I believe, leaves 33. Is that a miscount?
106.
If my maths are correct, he's on double 10. Yes, there we go. For a second, I thought I blinked and the leg was over. No, not quite. Possible miscount there from Peter, but he will be back. 3 at double 10. He's a lefty. However, Peter will have something to say.
121.
Even 121's okay. It halves his score. Double 10 for the left-hander to double his lead. And that is not far away. That one's a bit further away. Double 5. Horrible switch. Horrible switch.
Game shot.
Ooh, horrible switch. What am I talking about? Peter, he doesn't do horrible. He doesn't do pressure. Lovely last start. And just like that, it's 2-0. If we were playing last week, Peter wasn't there last week, but he would only need 1 leg.
85.
To win his little match. However, that is not the case this time. Be sure to check out our YouTube
100.
and our podcast. Podcast available on iTunes. I recently interviewed DJ Sayer in Las Vegas, which was good fun. Good spirited guy. He told me his life story in a 20-minute podcast. It was a lovely interview.
45.
So I do suggest you type in Live Darts Iceland, all one word, into iTunes. And have a listen. I'm going to do some more. I was looking at interviewing Devon Peterson in Blackpool in a couple of weeks, but I don't think that's going to be possible anymore due to prior engagements. But I'm going to try and see if I can interview someone for every continent. Maybe not Antarctica, but Devon Peterson will be perfect for the African continent. Diego Portela will be perfect for the South American continent. We've got North America. And there are just 1 or 2 European darts players, if I can think correctly. Hey, why not interview one of these guys? One of the Icelanders. And then we've got Mr. Whitlock, Mr. Catby, Mr. Anderson of the Kyle variety, and a few others. Repping Oz.
70.
I've just spent the last minute listing off player names. I'm sure we could do better than that. But anyway, yes, I'd like to... what I am basically saying is subscribe to our podcast and you might be able to hear interviews with such people.
94.
94 from Mr. Goodmanson does leave him on a 2 trebles to 1 double checkout. Well then, if he's going to do it, it's going to be 2 treble 20s. Easier than the 151 beta has, because you stay at the treble 20. The only time it's more difficult is when the treble 20 acts as a blocker. But usually, once the first one's in, the second one can follow nicely. Beta's going to need a treble 17 somewhere here, and it's not going to get it. 150 remaining, so he can kind of set this up however he wants.
27.
Well, he scored 58.
72.
72 there, so should come back. Vito doesn't appear to be throwing well enough. I need to get double his average to check this out. 104. It's still doable. Treble 18. It's still doable with that little red bit right in the smack bang middle of the board.
83.
The treble 18 was a very good dart, but unfortunately, he was a little off with the bullseye. So 20 or 12. 12 it is. He's a tops man. He usually hits it. 5 in the last leg. Double 5, that is.
32.
But can't hit the easier double pop in this leg. Vitor, then, you do assume it's going to be one for the same target.
Game shot.
That's a checkout. 41. I must say, 3 excellent checkouts. We had a 48 when it looked like he hit the double 16 with the first dart, but made a great adjustment. Second one, double 5 last dart in hand. And the third one, 41 in 2 darts. The finishing here has been
140.
all right. As was that 140 from Peter. Was an important hold for Peter. Just because you don't want to get too far behind. So still a short format, first to 6.
41.
Or short as first to 3. I'd call that ultra short.
$24. 95. $85.
Up next should be Hallie and Matty.
45.
The winner of which will play the winner of this in the final tonight.
$60.
Well, Vitor throwing a little bit tamer than usual. And by tamer, I mean he hasn't got too much of an expensive average. That will help it. That will help it a lot. The average up by 10 points there with one visit. Well, 180 here would leave a double. 140 here would be useful.
98.
98's not bad. Leaves him on a 2-darter. Does he go bull? Does he go treble 18? Three wayward darts for all the time in the world. Suggests maybe bullseye might be the better route, but I'd imagine. Well, yeah, I was going to say. I promise you, I'd imagine treble 18. That's 12 scored. 23 scored. 71 left. I like treble 17 here, and so does he.
40.
We'll be back for 2 darts at a double of his choice, presumably tops. Meanwhile, Vitor is struggling. Question I get quite often. We have Hallie Ailson. We have Matti Fredriksson. We have Peter Gudmundsson. Why is he not Vitor Charuasen? Because Vitor is actually Portuguese.
Game shot.
And right on cue. 2 darts. Check out. Vitor Portuguese. So he's got Portuguese passport and he speaks Portuguese, naturally. Portuguese. Also, he's Icelandic, lived here for a while. Hence, he would classify as Icelandic.
99.
Well, we're using Dart Connect for the 2nd week. Last week we used it, this week we're using it as well. If you would like to follow some of the statistics live, what I usually do is just Google Dart Connect TV.
100.
Dart Connect in one. Type in I for India, H for Hotel, N for November, Z for Zulu in the little bit at the bottom that says, do you have an access code or a code or something? You can see the code underneath Vitor's score, IHNZ.
95.
You can follow right along. The beauty of Dart Connect is if you can't watch, if it's like a big PDC tournament, floor tournament, something like that, and there's not streams all the time,
100.
then you can follow the progress of certain players. But it's great to track the stats. You can see. I've got it open in front of me now. And it's got sort of all the standard things you can see on your graphic, but it's also got the previous scores. Peter has scored 100, 100. Vitor has scored 99, 95, and 100. So 2 nice averages for this leg, that's for sure.
60.
After the game, it's rather beautiful because it allows you to look at the stats. How many 180s did they score? How many times 40s? How many 100s? What was their checkout rate? What was their average? Etc. Etc.
60.
So do check it out. All of these dart players hold down full-time jobs in addition to their darting careers. The 147 will not be going. Nice.
55.
92. Peter then, 2 trebles. Left double 10. Good for those trebles there.
45.
Now this is a real toss-up. Is it the bullseye or is it the treble? We've had this toss-up before, and Peter went for the treble 18. Bullseye is a sensible option here because it does guarantee dart success. Such as this.
Game shot.
And what a dart! Use that marker perfectly. That's why the bullseye is not a bad way to go. It was a little bit lower of the bull. Used it to perfection, and that's how you win the leg. Another hold. 1 for Peter Gudmundsson. Vitor. You get 1 treble here. Working his way up.
100.
Working his way up is exactly what he does. He scored. It's early days yet. Here comes Peter. Here comes Peter.
140.
There goes Peter.
$36.
100 followed by 36. That's one way to drastically lower your average for the leg. He wasn't 100, now he's averaging 64. Not that averages mean much or anything, but they do give you a nice little guide.
43. $59.
May see use of the treble 19 somewhere here if Peter stays straight. Or he might go for it first. Well, he's hit a 7, so he's not the 7 off. 270. Well, 265. Won't be finishing with his next 3 darts.
24. $95.
Two trebles is what he's after. Well, 3 is after, the 2 will do.
$95.
Well, it isn't 2 trebles, but he is on an outside shot. Treble 20, double 19. One of the few times we do see double 19 as the preferred route.
$77. $58.
So then, 1, 3, 4. That looks like it's in the 7. Which would leave 1, 2, 7.
$11.
Well, lackluster is it? Will Peter iron this one out in 2 darts? He may, you know, he might, you know.
Game shot.
He will. Peter is on fire on these doubles. Nice little healthy average of 74 as Peter. And all he has to do is hold a couple of times. And the game is his.
100. $81. $78. $100. $22. $100. $57. $42. $100. $138.
Well, wanted to stay there. You could see the disappointment. 2 treble 20s would have left double 12.
82.
And does Peter ever miss this? Does he ever miss a dart at this, let alone 3 darts?
Game shot.
No is the answer. I haven't seen Peter in this form for some time. When I say in this form, I'm talking about his percentage of converting doubles. I think he bust his first attempt. Other than that, I'm not sure he's missed one. Or rather, I'm not sure he's missed a visit. I know he hit 2010 double 5.
$46. $60. $85. $95. $41. 55.
Well, Peter, prime position here to wrap this one up, 6-2.
30.
And Hallie and Matty will be coming on next. Matty, the man who is doing the calling as we speak. And then after the next game, I will let you watch the third place playoff and the final in silence.
43.
But for the caller and the sound of the darts entering the dartboard.
44.
Vito's average has hiked up. He wasn't averaging overly well, but his even with the poor average in this,
100.
he's added a good few points to his average, 69, which isn't terrible. Though Peter, 8 points ahead of that. His average will, of course, update when the winning double is hit in this leg, which may well be Peter in 2 darts' time.
20.
And it's going treble 16 for tops. He ended up hitting treble 16 in the form of 3 singles. So, double top. Would you put your mortgage on Peter hitting his first dart? Well, it's a match dart, so
48.
maybe a little more pressure, but let's see. He's impressed me so far.
Game shots and the match.
Who am I kidding? Pressure! Goodness, it doesn't feel pressure. That was absolutely fantastic. An exquisite display of doubling on Peter Watson. Who wins this one? 6-2.
71,3. 65,4.
Just having a look at some of these averages on the Dart Connect channel. If I can get it, that is. Right, Peter averaged 75 against Vito 65. So the 10-point swing. Both through 155 darts, in case you wanted to know that. Just seeing if there is any statistics regarding checking out. I'm not all that convinced there is. On the Dart Connect system, I am aware that you have to say in what dart did he, if you got 40 left, how many darts did it take? But nonetheless, it was quite a display. Can't find it, but ho-hum. Was Vita successful. Up next is Mattias, or Matti Fredriksson. He's a footballer for Grindavik. He works in a power plant. And he's responsible for all of these streams. He does a fantastic job. I believe Live Darts Iceland was featured in a darts online article recently. If you look at the Facebook page, I am sure it will be there. And this man is Halli, or Hallgrimur Eilson. Hallie Ailes, he goes by. He is a talented darts player.
Outside.
He is a whale-watching sales manager and a graphic designer.
Outside.
And neither of these are in the same postcode as the bull. We throw for the bullseye to determine who'll go first, which can be crucial if it is a close game.
25.
Calling this one, or at least the start of this one, is Vitor.
25.
And they hear Peter well in the second half of this game if he can be bothered.
25.
Or even if he can't, if Vitor wants to carry on, then he'll carry on. But it is Matty who has won the ball by hitting a 25 to Hallie's outside. So here we go. Well, it's not double start, Matty.
60.
If you remember a few weeks ago, we were watching a bit of team action, in which U18, I think, because Peter Cap is the manager of an under-18 football club, something along those lines. So U18 played a couple of league nights, and they absolutely demolished the opponent on both occasions. Well, on the second occasion. On the first occasion, I didn't know what day it was.
100.
Both perilously close to the double top.
60. 100.
Oh, Matty throwing some lovely stuff here. And that's better from Hallie. That's unlucky. He'll want another.
95.
Wasn't far. It was a nice little line, but 95 scored he will take. Not that he has much choice. So on his return, treble 20, treble 19, double 12. I think that's his preferred route. We know this checkout very well because it's
96.
let's say it's quite significant in the sport of darts. I'm sure you know why. Here's the first bit, treble 19 probably. As the intended target ends up drifting away into the single 3.
64.
First hole was good, the second two were not so good. This is still anyone's leg. Give it to Matty just marginally because he's throwing, and now he's got 2 darts. You'd increase the odds here, and he only needs one of them. 77, treble 19, double 10. We've seen some good finishing so far, and it's only 1 and a fraction of the games that this evening has to throw at you.
45.
Well, I'm often joined by Christopher Wikstrand from Sweden. He often commentates alongside. Couldn't be here this evening. He's actually throwing darts himself.
40.
But I'm sure we'll have him back very soon because he knows maths and I don't. But what I do know is if this other one goes in,
140.
it would have been 180. 140 is fine. 140 is okay. It's more than okay.
60.
Well, you've got to give Hallie the advantage here, but he has to stay straight. And that was a slip. But Matty has to punish him. It's an acceptable slip. Lovely first dance. He's got one of the most solid actions that you're going to see as Matty.
91.
Often get nice comments about the action. And I'm sure this darts player is going to go far. So focus, he's still got his football career, but he wants to really focus on his darts, become a full-time pro at some point in his life. I don't blame him. He's got passion for the sports. And you could play. Why not? 170 was the big fish.
58.
Couldn't take it out, couldn't particularly leave a big dent. But I'd much rather be facing 112 than 170. And 25 scored. Leaves the advantage back to the man throwing now. Bullseye. Let's say that.
61.
Well, he's on a 2 dart out. Not quite what he wanted, but I guess that'll do. Hang on a second. How about that? A little applause there from Hallie. As 136, treble 20, treble 20, double 8. I meant a little applause from Matty. Hallie was the one that hit that. What a way to go. I was talking about the misses of Matty. And by the misses, I mean the treble 7 rather than his wife.
55.
And Hallie pounds in 2 treble 20s for the double 8. Biggest finish of the night so far. Possibly the biggest finish of the night. Full stop. Have to see about that one. Well done, Hallie. Matty liked it, and so did I.
40.
On the little scoreboard graphic you can see in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, you can see the little code YX.
45.
Oh. You should be able to see it anyway. If you go on the Dart Connect website, go on Dart Connect TV, and it says have a code, type that in.
57. 45. 60. 100. 92. 45. 60. 57. 140.
140 So 52 for Halley.
96.
12 for Tops to take the lead. Well, treble 12 is 36. It'll do if he can pin this one.
36.
Can't pin that, mate. I think the first start did throw him off. It's not often you see that. 36 for 16. Double 10. We're not used to seeing the Tops miss tonight, are we?
38.
Not with that emphatic display by Peter Goodmanson, who will be featuring in the final.
Game shot. 200.
Game shot, Halley. It's fortunate that the treble 12 leaves a reasonable double.
$92. $43. $60. $85. $60. $100.
We've soon got the PDC's World Match Play to look forward to. That's in Blackpool. Got some nice, tasty fixtures.
100.
I do like it when the majors are back, because we only have a limited number of majors in the year. So it is nice to be able to see big time darts again. Not saying that this isn't big time. Saturday the 21st, that's when it starts. So make sure you're tuning into that. It also doesn't coincide with our darts. Probably on the Thursday. But Adrian Lewis, James Wilson, that's the first game up.
130.
Lewis, whilst is not particularly high in the order of merit, he has been throwing some blistering stuff. Blistering. So, watch this map.
100.
Chisel, Brown, Van Gogh, and Desvan, Smith, Clayton, they're all playing the first session. Well, Halley has done this again. Double 1, which is the worst double on the board, or can be at least. And he can't get it. He did treble 12 in the last leg to leave himself double 8, which is okay. When you need 59, you hit treble 19. That is inexcusable. Because he could still lose this leg, and he had no reason to. And he'll be annoyed at himself, I'm sure. But that isn't the worst mark I've ever seen.
Game shot
And that
in the fourth
is
leg
in.
for Holly.
You have to give it to him. It's not easy. And something like that happens, and you need double. Easy at all. Sunday the 22nd is 2 sessions of the World Match Play. Darren Webster, Steve Lennon. That should be a tasty one. Darren Webster, of course. Demolition Man. He is capable of all sorts of damage.
100.
Ian White, Max Hopp. I believe both have won titles this year. Going Price, Jamie Cullen. Going Price, Joe.
57.
Jamie Cullum, that's Cullum with an M, is a jazz musician. Gurney West, Salivich Beaton, Anderson Bunting, Cross King. Cross, by the way. Give it to him, let's throw him brilliantly. He's made 2 out of the finals on the World Series in Vegas and Shanghai. He's won one. He's only won 1 tournament this year, except for the World Championship.
125.
But I'm sure he'll be back to his winning ways very, very soon. He's throwing outstanding stuff against the very, very best. And finishing off, Raymond Van Barneveld, Kyle Anderson. I find Barney seems to step it up when he needs to. Seems to always perform at the World Championship. Of course, the World Championship
61.
this year in December, and it's going to run for a while. There's something like 6 extra sessions, something like 92 starters.
$140.
So for the month of December, needless to say, I'm going to be very antisocial. He gets a treble here, and Halley's the favourite.
3.
I mean, he's the favourite for the match anyway. I meant for the leg. And Massey will leave something useful. 86 or less. 86 it is. He may go treble 18. But Halley doesn't want him to go for treble 18. I mean, he's going to, but you don't want to give him a chance.
140.
140 puts the pressure right on. 68 left. Stays there. Well, that is inexcusable, that. Needed to stay there. Hit another single 18, which isn't difficult. I mean, it's difficult if you're not a very good darts player, but Matty is a very good darts player.
$55.
Scored 35 to leave himself tops. And he doesn't punish Matty. But Matty needs this. This is very important.
No score.
And go, and he's not impressed. You can hear that slap all the way over in the UK.
Change shot in the 5th leg to Halley.
And Halley. He's similar in the average department. Halley ever so slightly more than Matty.
30.
30 means Matty could break back. Well,
95.
nice last start. Nice last start means that he has likely control of this one, or this leg. Doesn't want to make it 5-1. 5-1. Halley's on the hill. That's a good name for a band, that. Halley on the hill. Halley's on the hill, and
60.
it's a very difficult task. At least 4-1. You've still got to win more than one leg. That's where the psychology lies.
85.
So what happened with that last start? Was it a snatch? Was it a shot at bull? I think he's just a slight snatch. Seemed to go nowhere near the required target. Both of these are near the required
36.
targets. Unfortunately, the target next to the required one isn't a very big one. Actually, still with the advantage. And it's another treble 20.
85. $100.
He'll want a ton here, will Matty.
100.
Exactly what he gets. Which does get him down to a nice little finish. By nice little, I do mean hard to get, medium-sized / big finish. It's not medium-sized. What am I talking about? It's a big finish,
93.
but it's also doable. He's a talented man. He's got a couple of 167s before on the stream, and both of the times I managed to miss. Not because I was talking rub, but because I wasn't actually commentating. Christopher was commentating on both of them.
100.
It's my little punishment, and he hasn't hit one since. Well, not on stream anyway. Matty back, 3 darts for double 18. Started off with a lovely 2-darter, I believe, but
60.
hasn't been able to hit another double since, and has had numerous opportunities to, so we'll want to rectify that now. Double 18 with the first dart. There we go.
Sixth leg to Matti.
There we go, there we go. That'll give him a little bit of confidence. It's the second leg on the board. Needs 4 more. And he needs 2 more. Winner of this will be playing Peter Goodmanson in the final. The next game on will be he who is not successful in this match versus Vita. Matty throwing very tidily in this leg, averaging 90. Ali is averaging a little bit less than if he was to throw single 20 every dart. In this leg, that is. Both averages overall quite healthy. And that'll do wonders for his leg average. His leg average is now his match average. Meanwhile, Matty,
100.
a delicious average in this leg. We'll be back for 1-3-1. Likely to set it up. Neither of looks sort of overly likely to take the big finishes, but I must say 1-3-6 did surprise me. But he got it. He got it, did he not? Well, treble 20, it's in. And the treble 13 was not.
91.
So we got the tops. What's Halley got to say to that?
81.
Double top for Matty. He's surely not going to miss this time. I reckon he'll get it with his second or third. Third now. Not the best markers.
20.
I won't give my predictions again, because obviously I'm cursed. 108. What his choices? He chose for the treble 19 route. And it's in. 89. Minus the 57. Leaves 32. And guess what? Well, it's 32. And I was going to say before those 3, I really fancy this. I set up some going to give predictions. Also, you probably think I'm lying. But you'll never know. Break of throw for Halley. Puts him on the hill. He didn't particularly look in that leg either, did he? It was Matty who was getting some nice visits. Averaging around at about 90 until checkout territory. And neither start this leg with a flying start.
60.
For those who just joined us, hello from Keflavik, Iceland. We have 4 Icelandic darts players throwing for bragging rights and pride. These guys do feature in the PDC Nordic and Baltic events. One of which will be taking place in Iceland in October. I'm going to try and get myself down there if I can.
43.
And you've got to fancy these guys' chances on home territory. Kim Viljanen seems to dominate. He did last year anyway.
45.
The winner of the PDC Nordic and Baltic will win himself a ticket to the Ali Pali. By ticket, I don't mean as a spectator, I mean as a competitor.
81.
Well, that's the best visit for Halley in this leg. Neither on a checkout. It is Matthew who can get to a checkout first, but he's got to hit big. 2 trebles is required. Not going to do so.
60.
And he's not happy. He's not playing to his full capacity. We have seen glimpses of excellence. Started out, came out the traps nicely, but hasn't been able to hit big finishes, and a bit of unluckiness as well.
94.
By unluckiness, I mean missing 3 at tops and then Halley taking out 108. Absolutely nothing against that beautiful finish from Halley. Fantastic. But statistically, does that happen that often in live darts Iceland? No, it doesn't. But that's 82. Why darts is so exciting, because it can happen at any time. Any outcome is possible at any time. 84 to wrap it up. He gets it in. So double 12, double 6. And he's got it with his last shot. He's got it. And Halley will be playing Peter. Up next will be Matty and Peter. Well, unfortunately, I've got an early start tomorrow, so I'm going to have to leave you there. But I enjoy. Next week, hopefully with Christopher. Thanks, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.
Eller det var
6 minuter. Kör. 25. Outside. 25. Window starts the game. $32. $97. $64. $46. $42. $60. $57. $81. $85. $43. $180. $100. $21. $54. No score. Game show, first leg to Martin. $100. $36. $60. 62. One hundred. 57. 60. 85. 60. 51. 90. 140. 23. 50. 'Gives your second leg to Matti. 40. 60. 96. 60. 82. 60. 59. 60.
60.
28. 140. 140. 57. 'Game short on third leg to Victor. 60. 43. 60. 81. 100. 100. 60. 60. 100. 77. 38. 100. 71. 'Game short on fourth leg to Victor. 58.
100.
100. 85. 60. 100. 60. 68. 100. 55. 97. 60. 59. 41. 9. Game shot and fifth leg, 2 Vitor.
Skifta hann eða? Já, það er svona. 100. 123. 43. 30. 61. 62. 174. $60. $42. $100. $92. $91. $8. Game shot in the 6th leg to Matti. $39. $45. $30. $81. $180. $100. $121. $60. $91. $94. $30. $57.
score. Four. Game shot in the 7th leg to Vitor. Hundreds. $27. $55. 40. 43. 85. 59. 32. 32. 54. 44. 60. 100. 99. 'Game shot in the 8th leg to Martin. $140. 60. 83. 60. 95. $26. $121. $95. $46. $83. James shot in the 9th leg, 2v12. Okay.
$100. $60. $100. $100. $41. $123. $100. $92. $140. $93. Game show in the 10th leg to Matti. $80. $45. 130. $140. $60. $60. $26. $60. $97. $60. $118. $104. $85. $20. No score. Six. Three. No score. No score. No score. score. Yay! Game shot and the match.
Dat weet ik niet. Dat weet ik niet. Straks is het heel schier. Wie er is eerst lekker.
Stuurtje helemaal 4-8 uiteindelijk.
Yes. No score, no score, no score.
Dat is lekker goed. Oh ja.
Ja. Hier. 6 stars nog.
How many throws from the book? 25. Outside, how is that?
Bara screenshot.
Okay.
57. Sixty. Sixty. 140. 26. 100. 140. 123. 48. 58. 96. 1 shot on the first leg to Peter. 70. 100. 100. 41. 45. 140. 81. 60. 60. 92. 85. 60. 1 shot and the second leg to hit. 60. $140. 81. 41. 140. 60. 15. 42. 26. 48. 57. 41. 54. 89. shot on the third leg, 200.
Oh, 76. $57.
100.
41.
No, sir.
100. $67. $95. $60. $60. $81. $72. $60. $43. $51. Here you go. 13. $46. $6. Game shot. $57. $140. $100. 81. $100. $41. $45. $80. $47. $95. $140. $24. Game shot. $55. $91. $140. $100. $59. $83. $95. 49. $58. $44. $40. $54. $34. Come on. 20. Game shot.
$85. $81. $45. $41. $60. $100. $60. $99. $60. $45. $95. 70. 47. 45. No score. 'Game shot on the 7th leg, 2 gates. $60. 138. 45. 60. 121. 117. 60. 45. 71. 45. 40. 9. 1. 84. $62. Being shot in the 8th leg to Peter. $26. $100. $59. $60. $25. $60. $81. $80.
Ja.
35. $84. $60. $57. $60. Rim shot, win the match to Peter. Peter saved match.
Já.
60, svo, það er ekki liðið.
Ja.
Peter,
Já.
þú stemir vel með hann.
Nú, verður hann að því?
Já, já.
Östar Peterson, kom igen.
Það sést ekki þannig.
Það er verða.
Ekki þetta.
Takk í þetta.
That's all, folks.
That's all, folks.